Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
So lovely to see you again. I like maybe I'm going to sound too serious at the beginning of this video,
You always
but I'm serious.
defend your seriousness. I think it's fine to be serious.
But some like because perfume is fun, but sometimes something comes along where it's quite serious business. It's like, you know, it's a special moment in history. It's a special moment in time. A special house. And I think this house that we're talking about here, which you probably already can see on your video screen, is a very, very important house. Probably the most important house in perfumery.
I think so, yeah. I always think, you have designer niche Guerlain.
Absolutely. They are their own special category. And this is a perfume that no longer exists in this world, other than bottles that you can find in the way that Dan will tell you about now. But check this out.
So this is Parure.
Oh my
So
goodness.
this is again we are doing what we do for fun. That I found this fragrance and Joe hasn't smelled it. So we're just
Quite literally found.
yeah. So I went to
this is a real find, isn't it?
I went to an antiques centre. I was saying to Joe, I went there and I was trying to look for a small footstool and maybe some paintings. I came away with a Georgian walnut drinks table, a cello, and some perfume.
I mean, all three of which you needed at that moment in life, and you got them. I'm very glad.
But I might put up here that they had lots of. It's an old maltings, so a very old set of buildings, which is no longer a maltings, and is now being converted into several antique centres. So we went there, spent a couple of hours there. They had lots of perfumes, but I saw this bottle, and there's always a gamble when you see these old bottles, because this was not in its original packaging, so it presumably been opened. And I thought, it may smell of piss, but this is a perfume that if these bottles, if you buy them new on eBay at around about £300.
Yeah. You took a sort of wonderful gamble, didn't you?
So this is £27, but she gave it to me for 25.
I mean, you can't. In a way, if you didn't pick it up, you'd be nuts, wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Because that's something that, even for the risk of having a smell of something, even if it's changed over the years.
Maybe it's worth saying I have just spent £22 on a glass of wine.
He was thirsty.
Yeah. Hydration is key. Anyway,
I'm so excited to smell this, because I have to say that, if you ever look at the list of Guerlain fragrances on Fragrantica, it is enormous.
Yeah.
And so many of them go by, and I think, I would love to have smelled that.
Yeah.
I would love to have smelled that. And this is one of them over the years, and I've seen
this is 1975. So as well as this teardrop splash bottle, it was then in the B bottle for a while, but I think it was discontinued in about 2000.
Yeah.
So it's been gone for a while. So when you take the top off, there is a little rubber stopper. So it's actually reasonably well sealed.
It's quite possible that not a lot of oxygen has gotten
So
into that over the
I
years.
have worn this a little bit. The best
This was invented 4 years before I was born.
Tits emotion.
Isn't that amazing?
Let's tip it. I mean, splash bottles give me such anxiety anyway.
And this was discontinued before Netflix. Is that right?
I'm not aware that Netflix has been discontinued.
No, as in this was discontinued before Netflix arrived. on our screens.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to
So
smell
it's
it.
1975. So
I almost don't want to,
as we all
because
know, it's Jean-Paul Guerlain. Same lad who did Abbey Rouge and the like.
Yeah, instantaneous Guerlain. Instantaneous. Yeah. I tell you what, there's a really beautiful beating heart there, isn't there? Immediately, that's alive. That's like smelling a heartbeat in a perfume.
Yeah, it's a little bit more closed on card than it was on skin, actually. I get, but I see what you mean.
I mean, the cousin of this is very obvious.
Yes. So it's
Or a close sibling.
it's really interesting to see. It's Jean-Paul Guerlain's reworking of Mitsuku. I assume that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
So there is a rich,
Wow.
fruity chypre heart, but as opposed to it being peachy, this is rosy, but there's also plummy. And when I wore it on skin, the plumminess was more obvious.
I can detect that plumminess though. But in terms of what I didn't feel immediately was rose. I I felt a peach thing, and maybe that was just the relation to Mitsuko. But immediately I felt that it was a darker peach, and it was a slightly more rich, syrupy peach, which maybe is the sort of plumminess coming in. And very, very gently animalic already. And that might just be age enriching it. I don't know.
It smells so rich, doesn't
That's
it?
really good.
It just smells.
I would not expect that from a bottle of that.
I mean,
age.
I remember when I bought this, I took it home and I kind of splashed up my arm, and I kind of walked past, and my wife was like, "Bloody hell!" I thought it was going to smell of nothing because it was really old. You weren't.
It happens.
And it's big, and it's theatrical. It's kind of baroque, and it's dramatic, and
it's really beautiful.
yeah.
It's really beautiful.
I felt it's on the card. Do you want to put a bit on skin?
I might, but I've got stuff on both hands, which is going to decimate it. I might have to save that because these were so strong.
Because on skin, I thought the plumminess was a little bit more present than I think is on card. It's plummy.
Do you have some spare skin? Do you have things on as well?
You could put it on that one, yeah.
I have to say that immediately to me smells like a reference of what a good Chypre is. It's just that immediate balance that I love. The fruity, and you can tell the amount of stuff going on underneath this to bolster it and to kind of to give it legs.
I feel the very top notes are a bit forgotten.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe we're going into the heart already.
Even after seconds, actually.
Yeah. It's really good.
A little bit. Do you get a little bit?
I get a slightly plummy leather. I don't get a lot of rose necessarily straight away. I get some gentle powderiness that might be a rose. But I'm getting like a.
I felt it was rose on the jamminess, no fresh rose at all.
No. It's not that fresh green geranium-y direction.
No, but what is interesting is I feel later on actually there are lots of green notes to this. I mean, there's oak mossy green at the end, but actually through the mid there was a lot of bright green, kind of viney green, stemmy green. I
mean, this I'm getting more of the green on the card there, even maybe more than the hand.
Yeah, so I guess that's a little bit further on, isn't it? Oh, it's good. It's, even on card,
I think that's interesting.
It's just, I mean,
suede iris thing.
It's very leathery. It's definitely more leathery than, I don't think Mitsuko is very leathery at all.
But do you get a little relation to Abbey Rouge there in terms of that suede, sort of suedey, almost papyrusy, cardy?
I don't get papyrus or card at all, to be honest. But I do get some leather. I definitely get leather.
I like that a lot.
It's such a rich, complex. It's hard to imagine this was discontinued. It's just the sort of thing that if Roger Duff released this now, he could charge like £800, and people would be absolutely going crazy about it, wouldn't they?
It makes me sad because this thing was presumably discontinued because it wasn't selling as much as other things. But you should know you are getting rid of a real masterpiece. But you're not just getting rid of something that isn't selling.
It was just wrong time. I mean, this was. It's kind of like what's the other one? Similar time, the male one, Guerlain. That's a bit late. Yeah. That's 80s. And can you imagine this? I mean, I know this is 75, but as you were going to 80s and then 90s, this was just so not in vogue, was it?
No.
And it hadn't developed the kind of reputation of Mitsuko or Chanel No. 5. So people were not going to buy it for its name.
And I'll tell you something else. The thing that has decimated so much perfumery, well, not decimated, is the lack of internet. If that thing had been discontinued really in the internet age, it would never have happened.
Yeah.
But there would have been hype. People would have spoken about this on forums. People would have been buying it.
But then Mouchoir de Monsieur has just been discontinued recently,
which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I would hope that that would come back at least at some point, and there's the channel to make it happen via, popular campaigns and things. But who knows?
So, yes, as we said a lot, this has a real relation to the Mitsuko, but I do feel on skin anyway. Plumminess at the beginning, bit of rose, but actually the plum is more prominent than rose. And then throughout the dry down, there is leather, which I don't think is in Mitsuko, so it's a leather Sheba. But all the way through, there are flecks of bitter green, viney green, real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a million miles away from something like Cabochard, is it? In terms of just that
Yes,
those little slightly
yeah.
serious.
And that's.
Yeah. It's a slightly smoky thing as well going on there.
I think that's the leather.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I know, and I feel it's. I feel the leather is definitely isobutyl, which is used loads and loads and loads and loads in leather notes and leather records, and it has when you smell it on its own, isobutyl is a bit horrible, but there's a slight viney quality to it. I mean, it smells like leather, but there's a weird green vininess to it. So I think that's what could be happening here.
It's really beautiful.
It's so luxurious and the very top notes may have kind of gone a bit, but actually the vast majority of it, I think, is pretty well intact.
I think sometimes the top notes going doesn't bother me. I mean, I would love the feeling of, whatever wonderful bergamot was there once upon a time. Sure, but so long as the middle and the base are still interesting and
that's
getting
where the
richer
magic is.
over time.
And when I wore this as well, I was so surprised.
What I'm excited by.
I put it on at kind of 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then, the next day when I woke up, it was still pretty substantial.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
what is in here that's not around anymore? What has changed in terms of ingredients and raw materials and restrictions?
I mean, yeah, almost
I'd be really curious.
oak moss, real nitro musks.
Yeah.
As
Are
well.
they dangerous?
Yeah, I mean,
Kidding. I probably takes.
but yeah, musk ketone for sure, which is restricted. But
you
I think
have to have a lot of exposure to those things, don't you? I mean,
yeah, well, yeah,
I think to buy something like this as a curiosity,
yeah,
and keeping a collection, you're not playing with fire.
it's just. I mean, would I go out and spend £300 on it? No. I mean,
£27 though.
yeah.
£25.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't mean to flaunt it. I mean, I guess my only lesson is like, just go out and, if it is worth kind of taking a gamble, because I have to say, I might put up a picture. There was another picture of something in a tiny, tiny jar which said Guerlain early 20th century, and there was just a little bit, and it was like 200 quid. And I was like, well, I'm not going to risk that.
What if it was Jedi?
Well, yeah, but then what if it was just bum juice?
That's the risk.
Yeah. Whereas, I mean, for this,
I think it smells like that was made yesterday by a great perfumer. Not
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the.
But you
the
can
style.
imagine a niche, either someone like Roger Duff
Yeah, they
or
would
a
totally
niche
release
perfumer with a vintage interest.
Do you know I've got by Molinar I have Chypre, and I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called Chypre d'Orient or something.
Oh yeah.
And it gives me a very similar vibe. I must bring it for you at some point. It's got that peachy plummy thing going on.
What's that?
Is that related
what's
to
the
Coty?
Axaro rose one? Acteur? Is it Acteur?
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that was a hint of that here.
Yeah.
It's not. It really is not hugely rosy. Actually.
I don't
would say
find that a big rose.
it's more. I remember reading about it in the past and hearing it described as a rose sheep, but it's more of a plum with a hint of rose.
I think the rose is just delicately there, but of course we have to take into account the age and how that might have changed things. Maybe once upon a time it was a massive rose, and now it's kind of macerating and changing. I don't know, but either way, it's really really beautiful. And look at that! How beautiful is that? I think that's absolutely stunning. And that's an EDT.
Yeah.
With that level of richness and complexity.
Yeah, lasting for like a day.
It may as well be an X-ray of something.
Beautiful.
Wow.
If you have any vintage hoard success, let us know.
I'll send them to us as a gift, for the new year.
But until next time, happy sniffing.